happy holidays. Welcome to the year-end edition of the Sideline Guys on RecorderNews.com. I'm Mark Robarge along with Adam Schinder. And as it is the year-end edition, we figured we'd take a few minutes to look back over the year in sports. In Saturday's print edition of the Recorder, you will see our entire top 10 list of what we think were the top 10 local sports stories of 2010. But we figured right here today, Adam and I would kind of share our personal favorites of the year. And why don't you kick it off, Adam?
All right, I'm going to go way back to the end of February. In the Times Union Center at Albany, Giuseppe Lanzi from Amsterdam, the year before, finished third in the state at 145 pounds. This past year, finally he got his state championship at 152 pounds, an undefeated season. In my 2+ years here, there's probably no single athlete I have covered closer than Giuseppe Lanzi through all of his tournaments over the last couple of years. And the emotion on the mat that night at the Times Union Center when he finally beat Islip's Kyle Wade in the state finals was just incredible. There was a whole club suite that had been bought out by just Amsterdam folks in the Times Union Center, and that little section of the building absolutely exploded when the final whistle went up. It was a tremendous moment, and the first state championship, state final winner in Amsterdam wrestling history.
Now, my favorite sports moment of the year, local sports moment of the year, was actually more team-related, and that was the Amsterdam Mohawks winning their second straight New York Collegiate Baseball League championship. And to me, it was a favorite because I'm a lifelong baseball fan, as you can tell by some of the memorabilia we've got in front of us. But this was the first chance this year I had gotten to ever see the Mohawks in action. And it really was a very fun brand of baseball, as I'm sure a lot of you who have gotten out to Shuttleworth Park have seen through the year. And watching these kids work their way to a second straight league title was just a pure joy. Keith Griffin, great guy to talk to, great coach, and a lot of great kids. Obviously, the biggest name that you might know is Mel Rojas Jr., who the son of the former Major League pitcher, also a third-round draft choice himself, now playing in the Pirates organization. But, I mean, this is just a lot of college kids. A lot of these kids were kids you will never see wear a professional uniform, certainly not a Major League uniform. They're out there just for the love of the game, and it really was a pleasure just to watch them play on those few occasions.
Yeah, the Mohawks have turned in, over the last 2 years, plenty of memorable moments. Being there when they beat the Elmira Pioneers 17-0 in Game 1 of the NYCBL Championship Series was a sight to behold.
And it's also just beautiful to go there as a social event, too. I mean, this ballpark is rocking. I mean, you're talking some of the teams on the western part of the league would draw 50, 75 fans a night or less. And the Mohawks are routinely drawing 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 for some of the special nights like that. And it's always a good time to go out there. It's a real good party atmosphere.
And there were plenty of other memorable moments. On a quick personal note, one of my favorites also stemmed from that state wrestling championship. It was a good couple days before when I got the call from Dan Palmerino's father that his son, who had lost in the finals of the Section 2 championship, was getting into the state tournament. It was unfortunate because it was an injury to the Section 2 champion Seth Hazelton from Shenandoah. But just how happy, speaking to Dan that next day, he thought his high school wrestling career was over, and the next day he finds out he's going to states, and he goes out at states and wins his first match. He ended up losing in the next round to the eventual state champion, but it was a really, really tremendous story. And another one that was just a pleasure to cover, the Fonda Fultonville Braves winning their first sectional championship in 40 years was one of the most impressive runs from a team I've seen. 22-0 through Section 2. They ended up losing in the first round of the state tournament, but that team just had an uncanny ability to make a run whenever they needed to make a run.
And my other favorite of the year is also kind of personal to me. I mean, I make no secret of the fact that Craig Phillips is one of my favorite people that I've met over the years in covering sports.
He's one of everybody's favorite
Absolutely. People. And he was honored the end of this past baseball season by being chosen as the National Coach of the Year. And obviously a long overdue honor. Craig holds the Section 2 record for most career wins by a baseball coach. But what I like about the fact that he was given this award was this is not a program that's turned out Major League Baseball players, not even, I don't think any minor league players even, maybe one or two. But what he's known for is turning out great kids The one thing, and this is what makes his teams great, as well as the kids after they leave school, is the character that they exhibit both on and off the field. So I thought it was just wonderful that he was named as a National Coach of the Year. Of course, I'm sure they gave it to him partially because he announced his retirement and then turned around and came back. But you know what? It was a much-deserved honor, and I was just so glad to see that happen to him.
Now, in this day and age in high school sports, there are very few personalities left like Craig Phillips. Now, as a quick note, our top 5 high school boys basketball rankings will return next week after the holidays. So from us at the Sideline Guys, we'd like to wish you a very happy new year. For Mark, I'm Adam. We'll see you next week.